I guess it's important to remember when you do an activity like this, first and foremost, make sure that we pay attention to student safety.
In step 3, we consider some other essentials in pulling off this type of event. Safety includes providing designated parking areas for the buses and the vehicles of parent volunteers, notifying all employees of the day's event so they're aware of all that's going on, and also making sure each presenter is aware of possible dangers in their particular activities.
It's important that they don't get hurt and they're safe on the environment, especially because usually on a commercial range like this one or research station, there are several ways that the kid can get hurt, especially with the tractors, cow chute, and all the machinery that we have around here.
The safety is the big key for me, because when you're dealing with an animal a little different than some of the other stations, you never know what an animal's going to do. So I try to keep a little bit of a barrier in there between me and the animal, so if something happens, it's going to be me, not the kid that's going to get hurt. And the teachers, the group leaders that we have along with each group also assist with that and understand it.
A couple of other helpful tips: make small signs to point out the location of each activity and have a loud horn or other noise to indicate times for the group to move from one activity to the next. Keep stations relatively close to each other so each group can move from one station to the next within just a couple of minutes. Also, be flexible and realize that the most important thing is that the students have an enjoyable and positive educational experience.
I have a blast with it because the kids are hilarious. It just cracks me up. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I like it because with kids, we don't get to engage kids very often in this job. We're dealing with manuscripts, reviews, clientele, people. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to do it, talk to those kids and see it light up in their eyes.
If they come out here, they can see what we're doing, see that it's an important aspect to our daily lives. Gets the future little scientists running around thinking about different things. I think it's really important to have them come out. I'm glad we get to do it every year.
To see that kids, they really have a big interest on ranching and working with cows and working with animals. So I was really impressed with those kids. It was really fun.
I have a lot of fun with outreach activities for K-12 students, and I feel like I learn a lot from these students, as well as I feel like I give back to the community by helping teachers make science fun.
It's a lot of fun. You know, I look at kids, my own kids and other kids, as well, they're the next generation to fill in the blank. If this can impact one kid in 4 or 5 years in a positive direction towards on-the-ground natural resource conservation, that's pretty cool.
Personally, I love it. It's just an enjoyable time for me and for all the teachers in second grade. But it's also a good way for students to see science in action. We talk about science, we do little kid experiments, but it's just a great thing for them to see, and they get really pumped about it. In fact, we have students who are now in high school who have gone on this, and they still occasionally come back to Slater and they say, "Remember when?" And they remember most of that field trip. So it's good to see some of them even going into science and agricultural fields later.
If we don't take our time and tell people about what we do, it's going to come back and bite us in the future. I mean, and we, as an industry, as a agricultural industry, be it range, be it animal science, in agriculture in general, we have to inform the people and let them know what we're doing. And to me, that's the biggest important thing that we have to do with tours such as this, because when it comes down to choices, if they don't understand where food comes from or why it's important that we do what we do, we're fighting a losing battle.
We hope the video was useful to you and will inspire you to show kids what we do as research scientists. Who knows, these kids may be customers of ours and maybe even future employees. And the parents really enjoy the fact that we provide opportunities for their kids to learn. And we've gotten very positive feedback from parents on these events that we sponsor. Now, if you're not sure where to start, there are a lot of resources you can use. One of the places I would suggest starting, if you know a teacher who teaches the age group you plan to target, that person might be able to help you craft your message. The other thing to look at is the textbooks of the particular age class you're targeting, because the textbooks will give you an indication of sort of the level that those kids are being given in the classroom, and that can be very helpful. Now, all audiences respond to sort of the enthusiasm of the presenter, so don't be afraid to be a little animated and show some humor, as long as you're dealing with the right level of humor, but the kids will really enjoy that. And again, the parents will enjoy it as well. Now, if you decide to sponsor a field trip of this sort, don't be upset if it seems like organized chaos at the beginning, because when those kids get off the bus, there's an awful lot of energy in a fairly small area, and we're not probably used to having that in our normal lives. So don't worry about it. Once they go back to school, things will revert back to normal, and we'll all be back in our comfort zone. So anyway, if you choose to do this, I hope you have a good time, and I hope you'll choose to do it regularly as we do.